It's just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant. And I don't mind telling you, and I don't mind admitting it, I'm going to have to pour myself a nice big glass of red to celebrate. That was just utterly sensational. Everything about it. From Scott McTominay scores, I think, probably the greatest Scotland goal of all time. We love you, Paddy. We love you, Paddy. But sit down. Archie Gemmill, you're a legend. Look at that.
It's incredible.
I mean, incredible. The only other player in the world that you would think can do that was Cristiano Ronaldo. And if he tried it now, he'd put his hip out. That is just a thing of beauty. They should hang that, frame it, hang it in the Kelvin Grove for the rest of the time. That's just a moment of absolute art. And I
sorry to jump in, Keith, but I don't know. That is for me the best Scottish goal of all time. It's got to be.
Yeah, but then there's two more coming.
True.
And then we think, what a way to go to a World Cup. And then, Hoyland was becoming a real pain in the arse, wasn't he? And we thought, and then the agony of the VAR at the penalty kick, isn't it? Still not convinced it was, but it was definitely a foul. I was kind of hoping against hope. It was an inch or two outside the line. Hoyland takes it. You're thinking, well, this is Craig Gordon's moment now then, isn't it?
That's what I thought, aye.
But you could have 5 Craig Gordons in there. That penalty wasn't getting stopped.
No.
And then it's like you can just feel the life drain. It just felt cruel. And for Lauren Shanklin, there's the next massive story. Lauren Shanklin comes off the bench, poaches one, a yard out from goal, and that's us, we're there. But there was only 8 minutes to go. We're playing against 10 men. How could it possibly go wrong? But you kind of knew somewhere in the pit of your stomach this wasn't over. It wasn't. 2-2. And then another two incredible. And Kieran Tierney's goal. I feel sorry for Kieran Tierney because that's one of the all-time greats. That's one of the all-time great Scotland goals, especially with what was on it and the circumstances and the context of the moment. For him to pass that into the net, having come on and as a right back, it was fairy tale stuff. And then the ball drops to Kenny McLean. Kenny McLean, everybody has always said, why Steve Clarke keep picking Kenny McLean? Kenny McLean comes on and Scotland's out of need. I'm forgetting already, of course, that John Souttar's fallen over in the warm-up. Ben Doak had the best 18 minutes that you've seen in a Scotland shirt in I don't know how long. And then his hamstring snaps on him. Kenny McLean is sent for. Kenny McLean comes up with that moment. I mean, honestly. Listen, I have to tell you, in terms of making a dramatic entrance into a World Cup, it doesn't get any better than that. This will make headlines all around the world. And people will be looking at these goals all around the world. And Scotland have started the party early.
Absolutely. And look, if you're watching at home, I know it's late. Thanks for joining us. Get stuck into the conversation. We'll try and read out some of your comments. Some of the comments that are coming in are absolutely brilliant. Make me smile even more if that's possible. Ewan says, ran out the house screaming, a wreck. They fair put us through it, but fair play. Go on yourself, boys. This is an important point to me, Keith, because see, when Denmark went down to 10 men, I thought this is more glorious failure. But as Stephen points out, no more glorious failure. We're going to the World Cup. There was no more of the sob stories. So close. 2-2 against 10 men. 3 world-class goals to send us to a tournament. And look, Denmark had a lot of the ball, a lot of great technical players, but I thought we deserved that tonight just for the sheer courage.
It was the heart, it was the grit, it was the Scotland that we wanted to see right from kick-off. They got right in the front foot. They were aggressive. That's what we were looking for. That's what we were calling for. Don't stand off this game. Go and take it. Go and take it to them and, plug into the atmosphere. You always had that safety net at the playoffs anyway, so just go hell for leather at this. And although the game didn't turn out that way, I think largely because of the injury to Ben Doak, we made our presence felt right in those first early moments. For McTominay to then score that goal, oh my God. And it was such a shame because, and I'm saying about all the adversities that we faced there. We're forgetting, of course, that Billy Gilmore would have started that game had he not, cut down as well. So, we had everything going against us. And I I'd written a couple of things in the build up to the game talking about Steve Clarke and his trust in these players, and wondering if it might be starting to shake or wobble a little bit because the level of performances weren't what we were hoping for in, you know, the last 3 games. But I believed him when he said he had complete faith in them. And there you see why. Because see, when the Scots were really down, when they were up against it, when it could have been a nearly miss, another one of those hard luck stories for Scotland, in front of their own fans, in their own stadium, they produced something otherworldly tonight. Something incredible. And, you know, had that been any game in any qualifying campaign for any tournament, it would still be one of those nights that are going to go down in history. You'll remember for the rest of your life. The fact is, it wasn't just any game in any world or any qualification campaign. It was the game that takes us to a World Cup for the first time in nearly 3 decades. It's extraordinary. I can't thank Steve Clarke enough for everything he's done. I'm glad that when people were turning against him, some of us stood up for him. You know, Steve Clarke's not the media's friend by any manner of means, but the media and certainly the guys that, you know, that I'm around, I think it can be hard work at times, but we understand this guy has transformed what it feels like to cover Scotland games. You know, we'd our nose pressed up against the window for so many years, watching everybody else go to tournaments. Some of us would go to these tournaments and try and piggyback on what Northern Ireland or Wales were doing. And great, so pleased for you guys. Absolutely spewing that it wasn't us. Steve Clarke's changed all that. These players have changed all that. And, you know, I think we all owe them a great debt of gratitude. There are generations now, at least 2 generations of people that are going to get to experience what it's like to watch Scotland play at a World Cup finals. Let me tell you something. The place will come an absolute standstill in the summer.